Welcome to the Founder to CEO podcast. I'm Christina, your host, and I believe that scaling a business shouldn't cost you your relationships. The journey from doing it all to leading it all is a massive shift. And on this show, we focus on how to scale with systems and automation without sacrificing your relationships. We prioritize business growth by hitting three core pillars. Number one, minimizing overwhelm to create space for you to lead from clarity rather than crisis. Fighting fires is so overrated. Number two is investing in relationships to deepen the connections that matter with your team, your clients, your friends, and family. And the third pillar is building systems using technology to do the heavy lifting so you can step back and be the CEO. Today's episode is a session originally recorded inside our private community. It's a deep look at the habits and systems to help you take your life back. I curated some points from a couple of talks we had in the compassion.biz community about how negativity can ruin your life. Here are the 7 negativity traps that I think every founder needs to hear, and then we'll look at the solution or how to get out of it. So let's dive in. How to get rid of these 7 negatives in your lives. Number 1, and I want feedback from you if you experience that at some stage this year. Perfectionism. Trying to achieve something that's unattainable will result only in you feeling less than. You're feeling not good enough because it's not perfect. Oh, I want to know, have you felt like that this year? Judgment is number 2. Judgment. When you are judgmental, you are only focused on negative qualities of yourself or of others. So you can judge yourself or you can judge others. So you've only focused on the negative qualities. I must say, to only focus on the positives and ignore the negatives is also not good. That's a Pollyanna attitude. But we're talking about negatives. It's cool not to have the judgment. If you catch yourself, just say no. That will bring negative vibes. Perfectionism is when you do a blog post. You can't post it because it's not perfect. That is trying to be 100% correct. Like writing a book and there might still be an error or whatever, and you can't actually publish because you're scared.
And that's also fear of failure, isn't it?
No, that's perfectionism because that's a reason you don't publish. It's not perfect. The reason you don't want to go meet your friends is because your makeup is not perfect. That's perfectionism. Number 3 is self-doubt. It's a weed that will take over your life if you don't kill it at the root. So whatever you do, kill it. You can't not kill it. Otherwise, it will take over your life and you'll never do nothing. You'll have lots of plans and a lot of ideas, but you'll never execute on any of it. And that's why some people succeed and other people don't. The people that succeed are people that actually take action and do something, even if it's imperfect. So even if you know it's not going to be perfect, it's fine. At least you're doing something. Taking the next step. Number 4 is assuming the worst. If you think things will never get better, it won't. So you prophesy over your own life, you make it happen. So if you think negative things all the time, then it will happen. All the negative things will just follow you. For example, when somebody is coming to visit you and they're running late, you say, oh, maybe they had an accident, but maybe they're just late. It's fine. Number 5 is worry. I think it's a big one. Worry changes nothing except your health and your mental state. Worry won't fix the problem. Only action will fix the problem. You must take action towards the right thing. Number 6 should be a whole day on its own, but another day, not today. Number 6 is complaining. When you focus on
even
negative
in your
things,
head.
Yeah, especially in your head, because if you don't speak it out, you don't even realize you're thinking it. When you focus on negative things, you are setting yourself up for never being content or ever being happy, because you can always see what's wrong with things and circumstances or whatever. I think to flip that on its head, just try to focus on the positive things. If you see a negative thing, put an action plan in place to fix that or to make that better, and then focus on the positive things around that, so that you always have a balance of negative versus positive. With kids, what are you grateful for? We played that game. It switches the mood. The negativity trap is complaining. Even if you don't complain out loud, you're just not satisfied with what you've got. You're not happy with where you are. You're not happy with what you see in the mirror. You're complaining about your clothes not fitting well. You're unhappy. There you are, not content. Okay, and then number 7, which is a big one, is controlling everything. You can't control it all. And when you try and fail, you will blame others and you will blame yourself. So if you find yourself blaming others, even in your head or yourself, then you must know you're trying to control. You're controlling. Sometimes that is the main issue and not one of these others. You can't control everyone. Maybe you can control circumstances, but you can't control people. That's the big thing we have to realize. You can't control people and what they do.
What you just heard is short clips of our community meeting, and that connects directly to what I want to show you next, because I don't want to leave you thinking about negativity without helping you find a way to let go and find freedom. In the next clips, we discuss the weight of holding on and then how to let go. These clips are short because I don't share what we discuss in the meetings in private. We run a safe community where the information we share are never shared unless you give your express approval. Let's go.
What we're going to talk about today is the weight of holding on and finding freedom in letting go. So that's what we're talking about today. Have you started out this year feeling tired, feeling exhausted? Starting the year as if you're ending the year still, because nobody started fresh this year. It's just amazing. I found it every single person I spoke to haven't started fresh this year. They all started tired, exhausted, wishing that they could go on a holiday to refresh. Just back to normal again. Too much to do, too much to think about, too much to decide. I want to know if you know why. Do you know why you're exhausted? Take 2 minutes, maybe 5. I'll give you 5 minutes to just take a pen and paper and write down, why are you tired? Why do you think you're tired?
Press pause and write your comments. Just leave a message to say why you're exhausted. It's the only time that you actually get time to think about these things, so just write it in the comments, and then your subconscious can go work on it to see how you can solve it. While you're leaving your thoughts in the comments, I just wanted to share a story of one of my clients. Well, I also want to tell you what came out of this list. Lost some of our big clients. We lost staffing issues. Our dog is ill. I must take it to the vet. My child is struggling at school. I have a court case that is straining me. What else was there? Oh yes, there was somebody that said, every time I make a decision, I second guess myself. And I think we've all been there. And I remember one of my clients was starting a business. But then when the cash flow got tight, it was always this, do I have to go back to work? And so on. So she found a job and she went back to work. And after the second week, she was already saying, should I stay or should I go? This indecision is exhausting. So we decided to put a lid on the decision for 3 months. She had 3 months before she had to make a decision whether she should resign or stay. And I found that it's generally long enough to make an informed decision. So if you can take your decision and just park it for 3 months, just shelf it there. It's one decision you don't have to worry about today, because we do get decision fatigue. And then that decision won't tap your energy. You can let go of the decision until that date, and you won't forget. Trust me, if you forget, then the decision has been made, right? We had a situation where one of my other clients wanted to get married. Well, she met somebody and they were very in love, as it goes, but it was very quick. And they've known each other before, but they were never in a relationship before. So they decided they want to get married, but she said, okay, 90 days. I'm going to take 90 days and then I'll decide. So that's also a 3-month period, right? So I think it's a good time period. And then after the 90 days, she knew exactly which way to go. So that was not a quick decision. It looked quick from the outside, but she actually thought about it and gave it time. And that's why I'm going to introduce a 90-day sprint going forward. So I will let you know when we implement this. We can set a goal for 3 months because life is changing so fast right now that I don't think we can plan for more than 3 months in advance, not in enough detail. Subscribe to make sure you know when we're dropping the 90-day sprint. Okay, back to the recording.
We can plan. After that, you can go full out for 90 days. So in our lives, we have to decide what we can do in 90 days. And what we can't do, you have to wait. At least it's going to wait. And you can let everybody, you can say, okay, I can do it, but I can't do it right now. I can see you in July. They can then decide, are they waiting or are they going to find someone else to do this specific job? You don't have to do all of it. That's what the doctors do. I mean, the doctor says, sorry, I've got an appointment for you in 3 months. At least you give them the choice. And you do have to prioritize rest as well. I have a new list for you to make. What do you regret? What is the regrets that's haunting you still? I want you to write it down because this is what we're going to work on. Just think of 3 things, write it down. Who have you left behind that you haven't accepted the fact that you've left it behind? What income? You have to make time to grieve the loss of clients. And I know it doesn't seem as if there's time for that because we're just running and trying to get more cash flow in. You have to grieve what's past. Maybe you still grieve and miss the job that you had, the solid income you had every month. Your health. Maybe because you were always on the run. Maybe that is what you're grieving, that you can't run anymore. So maybe the house you had to give up, a relationship that you've had to let go of. That's something that can still drain your energy. This is all energy thieves, all of this. So grief, grief is often described as a storm. It's unpredictable. It hits you. You think you're going to have a picnic and all of a sudden there's a storm. So you never know what's going to trigger. It's not about what you've lost. It's what you refuse to release, or you haven't even noticed that you haven't released it. So I think that's very important to release this and release I wish I had, the regret around that. Maybe if I did something better or differently, or it's not what it's about. Just let it go. Doesn't matter. You can learn a lesson. You can take a lesson from it. That you can take. But take the lesson and let the rest go. Let the feelings go. Let the draining of the energy go. You'll feel lighter if you can do that. At first, if you hold on to the grief, at first you think it's okay. You can handle it. So you don't even notice that you have it. Mm-hmm. But as time passes, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months on, the weight becomes unbearable. And that's where people get depression because they are holding on to something that they can't bear the weight of. It's an unbearable weight. And that is what you have to break now before it becomes heavier. If things change, you can get a better. I used to drive a BMW. Now I drive a car that Trudy says he doesn't want it. He said that. So, that's how far I've fallen. But I'm okay with it because I released it. I had 10 years to release it. So it didn't happen overnight either. You mustn't allow these things to hold you back. You have to let go of something, let it go. Luckily, there's Uber nowadays, so you can Uber. Somebody with a driver will come to pick him up. We often cling to what's familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We hold on. What's examples of what we hold on to? It's People who are no longer present, whether through death, distance, or changed circumstances. Like my mom, she's not the mom that raised my kids. She's not the mom that went on trips and traveled around the world. She's now a sick mom. We're talking about grieving and holding on to things that no longer serves us. Like people who are no longer present, whether through death, distance, or changed circumstances. Ideas about how life should have been. I should never have gotten divorced. I should have been married happily. And, that should have. My kids should have loved me and now they don't, something like that maybe. I should have been healthy. I still wanted to do a marathon and now I'm failing. Those type of ideas that can hold you back, and that becomes heavy because the regret is heavy. It's like a rock you're holding on to.
You become bitter, basically.
Yes, exactly. So guilt, regret, outdated self-perceptions that keeps us anchored in the past. I mean, if you're not a rich person anymore, it doesn't help you think you are. You're just going to go into debt.
Yeah.
So just face facts, man. And I think it's so difficult to do. It's usually better and easier with someone else. If you can talk to somebody, you can see it easier, especially with a partner, a life partner. They're usually very direct. They don't hold back. It's easier to get things aired. It's not easier to resolve them necessarily. The resistance to change is like trying to swim while clutching a heavy rock. So if you have this rock and you're trying to swim, you only have one arm to swim with, and you can kick. And then if you have two rocks, now you can only kick, and you have the weight. So maybe you're going to drown if you hold on too long. Just let it go. Let it fall to the bottom of the river you're swimming through. It's not drown in sorrow. Don't resist the change. Just go with it. The power of letting go. Letting go does not mean forgetting. If you had somebody you loved and they died, it's not forgetting that person. It's just missing them and moving forward anyway. It's not raising the love or you dismissing memories or pretending the loss didn't happen, because it did. We have to acknowledge things. Maybe it's time to just write it down, acknowledge what the things are that belongs in the past so that you can step into a beautiful present and an even better future. Think about a hot air balloon. I had a chance long time ago, me and Mom, I went with Frank and Anne. They sponsored this trip in a hot air balloon. Best event ever. I love it. I want to go again one day. But if you think now, the hot air balloon is tied to the ground with ropes. So the only way to release the hot air balloon is to release the sandbags. So it's like a sandbag that you just let go of, then you can go higher. So if you can release something, a painful memory, a self-limiting belief, attachment to someone who is gone, it's not in your life anymore, you can become lighter and you can fly. The noise that's in your head now, that was the one thing I remember about the hot air balloon, is the silence. I loved it. It's just that perfect silence. It's just amazing. And I think that's what I want for all of us, is if we can let go of all the regrets and stuff that we spoke about earlier, we can become lighter and we can fly and we can soar and achieve great things and be happy. For heaven's sake, we need to be happy. We have to create a space for healing, growth, and for new beginnings. And I think that's so true for you, for new beginnings. That's awesome. So practical steps towards release. You can do this on your own. Letting go is an active process, not a passive one. Here's some small ways that you can do it. Write a letter to what you are releasing, whether it's a person, an expectation, a regret. You don't have to send it. The act of writing in itself is a form of release. Don't type it. Write it on paper. And then when you're ready to release, you can cut it up, you can burn it. And guys, it really works. I know it seems like woo-woo, but I've done it and it works. You've gone through a process of doing this also.
Yeah, it does work.
But we don't give ourselves the space and the time to actually do this work. So maybe just give yourself an hour a week, even 30 minutes a week to do this type of thing. It really will help a lot. And if you don't want to write, if you're not a writer, you can take a stone, you can drop a stone into the water, or you can just write words on a paper if you don't want to write a letter, because that's hard work. If you can just write words of what you are releasing, just a word, then you can burn it. And if you have a partner and you're going through something together, do it together. Just on the braaivleis fire, man, just burn it. Vuurhoutjie, is all wat jy nodig het. Then reframe the narrative. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Try asking, what is this teaching me? Because if you can take the lesson, you can let go of the past. All you need to take forward is the lesson and the memory. If it's a good memory, if it's a bad memory, don't even take that forward. So grief is not about moving on, it's about moving forward. We just have to move forward. Life doesn't stop because we're going through a difficult time. It just doesn't. So do we carry the weight of yesterday? Or do we allow ourselves to step into tomorrow lighter and freer and allow ourselves to fly into the future? So like my aging mom, she's very ill now. So we can regret that she isn't the same as she was 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago. Or I can accept her for who she is now and focus on how I can serve her right this minute. Love her for who she is now. And as you reflect on your own journey, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can put down today? Perhaps it's an old resentment, an unfulfilled expectation, a belief that no longer serves you. So letting go gives you freedom. And freedom is the only condition for happiness. Some person said that I cannot pronounce his name. Okay, so the journey of grief is not just about the loss. It's also about rediscovery. You'd rediscover aspects of yourself, the joy of beautiful lightness that comes when we finally choose to let go. Is there anything that you can add to this? Because we've all had life experiences. Go through one of these exercises. Take 5 minutes and just let go of one thing. Write it down and then rip it up and throw it away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a good point. You're not burning or ripping or cutting because you're angry. It's to let go. It's to break the soul tie, if you want. It's to break the tie. It doesn't have the power to upset you anymore. You've all written down something, let go of. A feeling, a person, or whatever. Okay. Rip it up. I can see ripping. Good job.
There we go. Done. It's now confetti.
You're releasing.
Confetti.
Rest in pieces.
And just like that, we've come to the end of this episode, where you had a peek into the lessons we learned during 2 of our Compassion Biz community sessions. So here's what I want you to take away from all of that. You are in control of your inner world, and you should take control of that. This will help you grow from a founder to a CEO, because your business can only grow as fast and as big as you can. I hope you'll consider joining us. The participants get the most value in the discussions after the talk, which I can't share outside of the community, obviously. Thank you for listening to today's session. Scaling your business shouldn't mean doing it alone. In our compassion-based community, we believe that the journey from founder to CEO is better when you connect with other people who value relationships as much as business results. We meet once a week online to set goals and to stay accountable. We host weekly online co-working sessions to keep the loneliness of leadership at bay. This body doubling helps you focus on what matters most, your major goals. If you are ready to scale without losing your connection to others, visit compassion.biz and join us. See you inside.